Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about something that happened in the Dnipro Delta south of Kherson. Ukraine has established partial control over this island that separates the left and right bank of the Dnipro River. It's completely confirmed that they have control over the Antonovsky Bridge area inside of the island, as well as some parts of Dachi on this part of the island. Now over to the left, Dachi with a Y is still under partial Russian control. The area inside of this black line is just the general area of the landings, but pretty much everywhere inside of this blue line is under Ukrainian control. On some of the other islands, there have been also other landings. Not all of these are recent, but these are the landings that have happened across the Dnipro Delta. They've taken over parts of this oskil area about the north of this island. They did a landing into Potemkin Island and took over the northern sector of it as well. This island, which Svatove is on, is under Russian control, and the small little area right here is under Ukrainian control. This map is a little bit confusing, but I feel like the South Kherson front, I don't even draw the line in most of my videos, and I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough, but the fact that there's movement going on here is important. Pushing to this part of the delta puts them really close to oskil. The main thing that's separating Ukraine from the other part of the Kherson Oblast on this side is it's not the Dnipro River, but it's the Tonka River, because as you can see, Ukraine has not been able to cross that river anywhere. Some people think that Ukraine is going to try to launch the southern offensive in the Dnipro Delta area, maybe by Novokakhovka or somewhere around here, which does and doesn't make sense at the same time. You can see that the Russian fortifications in this region are much more spread out, with it mostly just being a triangle in the middle which links to Crimea. And you can see by the area in Zaporizhzhia, there's way more there than there is here. The defense lines here mostly connect from Novokakhovka to Melitopol to Chornhar, which is one of the two entrances into Crimea. So this would be a nice spot, and it would catch the Russians off guard. Here's why it probably won't work. The areas in the delta are like soup. It's mostly just marshlands and trees, and it's terrible for moving equipment across. And there is a major Russian fortification, the city of oskil, which is south of the area that they've just completed the landing on. This bridge has already been blown up, but they're also going to face a similar problem that Russia has right now in a different area of the front. If we go up to the North Luhansk, or the tiny bit of the Kharkiv Oblast that Russia still controls up here, you can see that by Vorchina and Zaporizhzhia, Russia has decent control of some small settlements on the other side of the river, but because Ukraine controls a big settlement on their side of the river, it's difficult to try to attack because of the terrain that's similar to the Dnipro Delta, and it's also just difficult to try to push from a river into a big city that the enemy controls. This has prevented Russia from crossing over into Vorchina recently, and it's also just not really in their self-interest. There's also the fact that Ukraine would pretty much need to use all pontoon bridges to get things across, because Russia exploded the Antonovsky Bridge from when they retreated and the part of the Novokakhovka Dam. So it'd be really difficult to get large amounts of equipment across the area that the offensive would need. By taking over this area, the closest Russian positions in Oskil are over 4 kilometers away, which is the limit of some short-range artillery that Russia was using to hit Kherson. Before Ukraine liberated this it's blue. So before Ukraine liberated this island, Russia could hit a pretty large chunk of Kherson city with artillery, which was leading to them shelling civilians and stuff like that. But now that Ukraine has started to kick them off of this island, oskil is their closest position, and they can't even reach it from across that area. That doesn't stop long-range artillery, but that stuff is usually more costly to fire, and it's going to end a lot of the shelling battles across the Dnipro River. And yeah, that's all I really got for you guys today. See you later. The Tonka River.